I'm Ted Keys in Pasadena, California. Welcome to my Tuesday conference call, a free, high-powered meeting I hold live every Tuesday for top-producing freight agents. Go to tedkeysonline.com for complete call information. Then join us weekly to see new, serious, struggling, and experienced sales professionals move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. So watch my recorded call topic highlighted there on your screen right now. Then go to tedkeysonline.com and hear more podcasts, read more blog posts, watch more videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. Enjoy watching and applying my Tuesday conference call. Hello and welcome everybody to my Tuesday conference call. I'm Ted Keys, your host here in Pasadena, California. This is a free, high-powered meeting I hold live every Tuesday for top-producing freight agents at 2 p.m. Pacific Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. On the call today, I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, to read more of my blog posts, to watch more of my videos, and then while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. Today, when you go to my Freight Sales Success Store, you will see for sale my flagship product, my Freight Sales Success Guide. You'll also see the Freight Sales Success quotes that are available and also the Freight Sales Success skills available. All three products available in the Freight Sales Success Store. And even while you're there taking in all this free information, go to the contact page and enter your contact details. By doing that, you'll receive your personally weekly invite to this and every call, along with the attachments. Again, by getting on my contact list, you're going to receive the attachments that I discuss on every call. You'll also get my free report by doing that. My free report, 11 Ways Freight Agents Will Increase Their Income. And if you have any questions today, or if you're ready to join our top producing freight sales office, then call me Ted Keys at 626-309-9141. Today's topic for today is freight words that move more freight. Let me say that again. Freight words that move more freight. This is a great topic. Why? Because our prospects, our customers, respond to the words that we tell them, the words that we say to them as we're building relationships with them. This is just a great topic for us to go over, because typically when folks come to me, I'm amazed at the level of the words they use. Typically they're low energy words that have very little value, very little meaning. I'm going to show you today how to use words of high level, words that will get attention from shipping decision makers. But let me talk first about the high end. This is with folks that use these, great words that are a high jargon type word. You want to be in the middle, but the words you use are to use words of high value, high energy, words that get attention. So let me just explain a little bit again. My topic today: freight words that move more freight. Corporate jargon and industry buzzwords are all the bane of many a presentation. Boy, I bet you most of us can relate to that, huh? There's nothing like staring into space, playing a mental game of Candy Crush, while some executive drones on using terms most people, including ourselves, don't understand. One of the ancient Greek philosophers once said, what they said was, whoever defines the terms wins the agreement. So what does that term mean anyway? Well, even though we're no longer paid to sit around in togas debating philosophy, this is still good advice for modern business folks, especially us freight sales agents. But how often do we actually follow it? That's the question. As I mentioned earlier, guys, it's all too common for freight sales agents like us to use all sorts of jargons, all sorts of industry buzzwords and acronyms, particularly when calling a prospect initially without knowing exactly what they mean. It's also way too common for us freight sales agents to reach down at the bottom of the barrel and use words that have absolutely no value, no energy, and certainly won't get you to the shipping decision makers that you're seeking. I don't know about you, but I found that any time that I personally am attempting to sound smart, particularly when using big words, I end up sounding like an idiot, plain and simple. And when I say with such words as maybe, hopefully, trying, and probably, I typically don't make my way onto a shipping decision maker's freight list. Now, why is that, guys? Why is that when I use those low-level words that I don't make my way onto a shipping decision maker's freight list? Well, there's three quick lessons that I'm going to go over here real fast, and here they are. The first one is this. Anytime you're trying to sound smart, you're just making a fool out of yourself. Let me say that again. Anytime you're attempting to sound smart, you're making a fool out of yourself. Here's the reason, or here's the conclusion on that. It's far better to come across as authentic rather than smart. Let me say it again. It's far better to come across as authentic rather than smart. Come across as yourself. Don't try to change who you are. Because think about it when you have when you have a relationship with a friend. You're not coming across trying to sound smart or like you've got the upper hand on them. You come across as authentic. Well, it's the same way in building a relationship with your shipping decision maker. Here's the second main lesson. Here's a second main lesson that you're going to learn today, and that is, unless you're absolutely 100% sure of the meaning of a word, particularly jargon and buzzwords, then don't use them. Let me say that again. Unless you're absolutely 100% sure of the meaning of a word, particularly the jargon or buzzword, do not use them. You may think that using big words makes you sound smart, or that jargon and buzzwords make you look like an industry insider. The reality is they can make you look exceptionally foolish unless you have the proper command of them. The third thing to take away from my conference call today is this. Use small words to make your big points. Let me say that again. Use small words. Use small words to make your big point. Even if you know the proper definition and use of big words or industry jargon or buzzwords, do your readers or your hearers, whoever is listening to you, do they know what you're talking about? There's nothing worse than not getting your message across. Boy, how important that is, especially when we're talking to our shipping decision makers, prospects, or customers initially. If those listening to you don't understand your message, really then what's the point? The point is you're not getting your message across. Lastly, people often resent the feeling of being talked down to by those who deem themselves to be intellectually superior. Your goal is to not sound like you're intellectually superior to anyone. Your main goal is to relate and build a relationship with your prospects and your shipping decision makers. That's your goal. Plain and simple. Build your relationship. You're not going to build that relationship if you're not at the same level as your prospect or your customer. So, in concluding what I was just talking about, choose your words carefully and wisely when communicating with your freight prospects and your customers. Aim for authenticity. Be authentic and understand rather than show off. And as a result of not connecting with your freight prospects and customers, looking foolish to them in the process. The last thing you want to do to anybody, especially in this profession, is to look foolish to anybody. If anything, your goal is to sound like the industry expert. Sound like everybody is dealing with you in this profession. When you sound like that, then you'll get the attention of your prospects and customers. Now, Xing out of there and moving on to that next document, we're going to talk about word choice. Again, I did neglect to tell you, if you are on my contact list, go ahead and scroll down to any one of those emails that I sent you today, and we're going to go over the documents today. Now, I just went over the first one. Let's go ahead and open up that second one. This is what you get when you end up on my contact list. I actually send you the emails for each conference call. So let's go ahead and open up that second document. We're going to go over word choice today. Now, what is word choice? Basically, word choice is your choice of words that you're going to use that, when you talk to your prospects and your customers. My main goal on this is to show you what words to avoid, and what words, basically the words to avoid and the words to use to be successful. And not just successful in this profession, but basically successful in life. Let's talk about this a little bit. 80% of our culture and our society uses words of very little energy, very little value. Your goal is to use words that are going to get attention. Not only get attention, but they're going to show and tell your shipping decision maker that you're not only going to follow through, but the words that you use are going to be of high energy. They're going to be of high value. Let's go over some of these words. Now, you're going to relate to some of these words as I go over them with you. Words to avoid. How many times throughout the day do you hear, "I'm sorry"? Believe it or not, this is a low energy, low value word. First of all, I'm sorry. If you ask me, I would much rather say, "Hey, I've done the job," instead of "I screwed up" and said "I'm sorry." So really think about it. How often are you or a customer going to hear "I'm sorry"? Here's what you say instead. If you even screw up in the process of doing anything, basically stop apologizing. Stop saying you're sorry and do what's required to get the job done. So basically, the words for success, you're not going to use any words here. You're going to stop apologizing. You're going to follow through. You're going to pick up the phone. You're going to move the freight. You're going to make sure the driver is dispatched properly, that he's given the correct pickup address, that he's given the correct delivery address. Make it so you don't have to say "I'm sorry," because as I said earlier, 80% of our population says this over and over and over again. So basically, with "I'm sorry," just stop apologizing and do what's required. Let's move on here. How often do you hear "to tell the truth"? Well, if you ask me, I don't ever want to hear this, because if somebody's talking to me, I'm just going to assume that they're telling the truth. However, if there's a point where you really have to get across and it's a little quirky, then say instead, "the truth is." But the main goal is to stop saying "to tell the truth." You're basically saying it because it's habitual. And why would you say that? Don't you want your recipient to know that you're telling the truth already? Why do you have to clarify that you have to tell the truth? So follow up with "the truth is." Moving on, to be honest. How often do you say "to be honest" during your conversations today? Stop saying it. Again, if you ever have to say it, then say "the truth is." So to tell the truth, to be honest, the truth is. And again, you're only saying it because there may be a discrepancy in your communication between you and your recipient. Moving on, I might, I may. Follow that up with "I will." Boy, how confident will you sound when you say "I will"? I will get that credit app or that credit sheet to you, Ted. I will get that load picked up, Mr. Shipping Decision Maker. That's what they want to hear. Moving on, maybe. Instead of maybe, say really. Probably. No more probably. Follow that up with definitely. I'll definitely get that done for you, Mr. Customer. Possibly. How often do you say possibly throughout the day? Well, follow that up with, change that to absolutely. I'll absolutely get that done for you, Mr. Customer. I'll try. How often do you say I try, or I'm trying? How often do you hear people say that? Well, I don't want to hear that you're trying. I want to hear that you're doing. Say that you're doing it. Doing means you're getting it done. Trying, what does that mean? Trying means that you're getting up and walking around. That could be the level of your trying. But when you say you're doing, I'll do, you're committing to the task. Moving on, I already talked about I'm trying. Follow that up with I'm doing. The word okay, how often do you hear that throughout the day? Get rid of okay, follow that up with yes, I'll get that done. Definitely, it will get done. Moving on, hoping. How many of you are hoping that you'll be successful in this profession? Well, instead of hoping, go ahead and do by doing. Switch out hoping with doing. I'm not hoping anymore, I'm actually doing it. Think of Nike's logo, just do it. They don't say just hope for it, they say just do it. Switch that into your jargon on a daily basis now. Hopefully, how often do you hear the word hopefully? Hopefully I'll get that done. Hopefully I'll get that load picked up. Well, hopefully is now actually. Actually, the truck is on its way. As an example, I need help. I'm helping. Can you help me? Switch out help with assist. How can I assist you today? Assist means more that you're doing this hand in hand. Help means, oh, poor me, I need help. Again, following up help with I need. Actually, that was a slip up there on my part. How often do you hear folks say I need? Well, switch out I need with I require. I require that load. I require the load information, not I need. I need is so whiny. It's so 80% of the population. Follow that up with I require. Require has some more umph to it. It has more gumption. It has more strength to it. Could be, should be. I could be successful. I should be successful. Switch that out with will be. I am going to be. I will be successful. How often do you hear people stammer with well, no more. Switch that out with yes, exactly. No more well. Typically, if you say well, I'm going to say Is that a word? Is that a word? How do you spell that? I think. Switch that out with I know. Instead of thinking, know what you're talking about. I can't. I can. Switch out I can't with I can because I know you can. I want. Switch that with I'll have. And you know what, guys? If you ever want to add to this list, you're more than welcome to. Feel free to add your words to this list at any time. But here's just a starting point. When you use the words for success on this list, your shipping decision makers will pay attention to you. If you just use the words on the left side, the words to avoid, they're not going to pay attention to you. Why? Because they hear these words time after time after time after time by 80% of the folks that call them. Would you rather be in the 80% or the 20%? That is a question that I'm asking you today. Great list of words here. Study this list, use it, switch out your words where they require it. This is a starting point. Believe me, as you start using these words for success, you're going to realize how foolish you sound in your conversations. Your goal is to stand out here. Successful words will assist you in standing out. Let's go ahead and move on, and I'm going to give you some motivation for today in that next document there. Remember, when you're calling your prospects and customers, in reality, the less you say, the better you sound. That's the reality of the matter here. The less you say, the better you sound, especially when you're making that initial call, when you're talking to those prospects, future customers for the first time. Your goal is to listen to what they're saying. Your goal is to ask questions and then close your mouth. So in reality, the less you say, the better you sound. Let's go ahead and move on from there. Open up that next attachment, and it'll be attachment number 4. And that is, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, I talked about this earlier, don't be boring like the next guy. Don't be boring like 80% of the freight sales agents that call on shipping decision makers. What are you going to do? You're going to be different. You're going to be different by utilizing high value, high energy words, the same list of words that I just went over. Don't be boring like the next guy and use low energy words that you should be avoiding. Be different. Use those high energy words that I just talked about. So don't be boring like the next guy. Be different. It's the different agent that's going to get the attention. And what do? You start changing your vocabulary today. Let's go ahead and move on from there, guys. And that is, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, that preparation breeds confidence. You're taking these words and you're working them into your vocabulary. That is part of your preparation. As you start and continue to use them, the more prepared you're going to be before a sales call, and the more self-assured you feel. So what do? You start focusing on them today. Be aware of the words that you use. Start using and continue using those words for success. Let me say it again. It's your preparation that's going to breed confidence. Use these words at home. I mean, have somebody quiz you. Give them to somebody else. Just do what you can to start working these high value words into your mind. The more prepared you are before a call, the more self-assured you're going to feel. Not only as you use these words, they're going to make you feel self-assured. They're going to make you feel more confident where you actually are confident and self-assured. So preparation breeds confidence. Guys, let's go ahead and move out of that document. Let's go ahead and move into our next one here, which says, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, don't just talk about it. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. Represent those words that you're using now, those high value, high energy words. As you use them more, you're going to represent them more. It's going to come out, as I just talked about in the last document. By talking, by utilizing words in these vocabulary, it's going to breed confidence, and that's what you're going to end up being. You're going to end up being somebody of high stature, high confidence, and that's what shipping decision makers are looking for. They're looking for somebody that will first talk and then follow through. But obviously they want to see your follow through, but it's your talking in the words that you use that are going to get their attention first. So don't just talk about it. Don't just talk and use these. Actually follow through and represent these high value words that you're actually talking about. Actually be the words. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Let's go ahead and keep moving on here, folks, to that next document. And that is a little more motivation here. But remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, you cannot fail if you don't quit. And that involves using these high energy words that I just went over. Just start today. Weed those low energy words out of your vocabulary. That's showing that you're making the commitment. But don't quit. You can't fail if you don't quit. If you quit using them and keep talking like the rest of society, well, you're going to fail. But you can't fail if you don't quit. So what's my main point here? Don't quit. Don't quit on anything that you do, anything that you've committed yourself to do, especially in this profession. This profession can reward you so much by the confidence that it builds in you and by the financial rewards that will come to you as you move more and more freight. But initially, build that foundation. Don't quit. Just follow through. Follow through on the guidelines and the timelines that I set for you. You know, hit every one that I put in your path. As you hit the little ones, you're going to hit the big ones. It's that simple. So, one more time, you cannot fail if you don't quit. Great topic today, and that is freight words that move more freight. I just went through so many with you. Don't try to sound like you're highfalutin with big industry jargon. I would rather somebody come to me with much more confidence with the words that they use, and instead of sounding like a recent college graduate and show me, you know, the big words that they're using. I don't care. I want you to follow up the words that you're using. I want to hear high energy, high value words like the list I just went over. So in closing today, guys, let me just say it again. Do you want to receive the email notices and attachments for this and every call? Well, then go to my website, tedkeysonline.com/contacts, and enter your contact details. Lastly, do you have any questions about the call today, or are you ready to join our top producing freight sales team? Then call me, Ted Keys, at 626-309-9141. Great topic today. Start using these words today. You'll be amazed at the confidence that it is and will breed in you. Take care. God bless. I'll see you next week, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Take care. God bless. And bye-bye. You've just taken a tremendous step forward by watching and applying my Tuesday conference call highlight. Do you desire to earn and learn with our top freight team and Christian-based office? Yes? We're searching for a self-starter who's serious, motivated, and ready to take action right now. Is that you? Go to tedkeysonline.com/contacts and enter your contact details. We provide top-notch freight agent sales training to you. Then you deliver those same skills with confidence to the freight industry marketplace. I'll talk to you soon.